Look at some news. So, yeah, this is garbage. Let me get around this stupid paywall. I may not be able to do it on the City College Network. Anyway, so as you probably saw in the candidates debate, Trump repeated a lie that J.D. Vance has been repeating, that there are immigrants in a town, I forget, Cincinnati or something, that are eating people's cats, and this is totally false. They've contacted the police, the mayor of the town has come out, and now there are bomb threats against people there because, of course, there's a large portion of America that just believes anything Trump says, no matter how wrong it is. Anyway, so that's happened, and it brings up the issue, which is a huge issue in this time, of people that believe disinformation. And this is something that I think everybody that's educated pretty much has been worried about for the last several years, is what do you do with people that believe in conspiracy theories? And I think, like everybody, you have members of your family, often older members, that kind of thing, people you know, who believe everything off of Fox News or even crazier places, and you wonder what to do about it. And one thing that I've heard many times is that just contradicting them and bringing up evidence like scientific articles or New York Times articles does no good at all. And that just seemed to be true in my experience. I think the only thing you can do is change the topic and find some common ground so you can stay friends, and then they sort of gradually maybe move away from it a little bit. But these guys claim they have made an AI that argues with people about conspiracy theories and is successful at changing their opinion. So about 1/4 of them quit believing in conspiracy theories, and the ones that believe in it like 20% less, after they have a chat with AI that has carefully made arguments to customize the arguments to their statements. So that's interesting. And it's sort of disturbing because, of course, as all of us know, AIs are extremely unreliable. They lie all the time, they hallucinate, they get facts wrong. Actually, believing in AI is not that different than believing in a conspiracy theory in the first place. It's, again, getting your so-called facts from an unreliable source. But anyway, it's an interesting experiment. Let's see, somebody's posted a thing here. Yeah, it calls for aid. Yeah, after bomb threats. Good, somebody found another link to an article that maybe is not hidden behind a paywall. Yeah, there you go. So, all right. And so, it'd be nice if we could do something about all the people believing fake stuff, but I think with the #1 news channel in America being Fox News, we've entered a really dark place, and it's not clear how you can recover. And it's possible that we were wrong to have the First Amendment and free speech. Other nations don't have it. And free speech means, at least is being interpreted, that you can say anything no matter how damaging or false. And perhaps it's just our interpretation because, the Second Amendment didn't say that everybody could have an AR-15. That's a modern invention, to reinterpret it to mean everybody can have every possible weapon. And they seem to, so we'll see. Hopefully this latest fit of madness will pass. It's very much like the McCarthy era before I was born, when Joseph McCarthy was, just like Donald Trump blames everything on immigrants, Joseph McCarthy blamed everything on communists and claimed to have proof that there were all these communists infiltrating the government and every organization at every level, and therefore you couldn't trust anybody and you just had to trust him, only I can fix it. Very much like Trump. It's a common political technique, and we're going through our bout with it. So, these crisis pregnancy centers are fake medical clinics. They put them right next to real abortion clinics, and they trick people into going into the wrong place. And when you go in there, they just waste your time and try to convince you to have the kid and try to trick you into having a kid by making you miss your appointment, by delaying you until it passes the deadline for a legal abortion and such. And so this one in Attleboro, wherever that is, Boston, I guess in Massachusetts, moved in next to an abortion clinic and then apparently somehow stole the abortion clinic's data so they could find out who was making appointments and call those people and say, oh, your appointment has changed, and you go to our location instead, to deflect them. And of course, these people think they're heroically saving babies from being murdered, or so that's what they say. And anyway, how they got the data is sort of interesting in an information security way, and it's not clear here. Perhaps they hacked into the data, or perhaps they managed to sneak an insider in to steal the data, something like that. This is kind of interesting. I had a student installing Autopsy in a Windows virtual machine just a couple days ago, and we noticed that when you run the Autopsy installer, like 3 command prompts open and close. And apparently that's pretty common. There are certain installers that have a defect where they actually open a command prompt while doing something, and apparently a bunch of them do it when you're like repairing something through Control Panel. You can go to Add or Remove Programs and repair an installer with an MSI file. And this researcher, Michael Baer, found that if you click on the taskbar of that briefly appearing command prompt and open its properties, it won't close, and now you have a command prompt with system privileges. So it's a privilege escalation vulnerability. This is how most of them work. This is how a dirty cow exploit works on Linux. I think a lot of them, you execute some process which has to elevate itself briefly to a higher level of privilege, like system or root, and then you find some way to interrupt it while it's at that high level, or sneak in another command while it's at that high level. And that's basically the flaw. And this is, I think it's fair to call this a race condition. Race conditions are when you have a brief moment of vulnerability and you have to punch just at the right time to get through. So Microsoft patched this, although they had a lot of trouble patching it, and it took them many months to patch it. Redis, I just thought this was interesting. I never learned anything about Redis until I did a capture the flag contest where you had to do something with a Redis database. Apparently, it is the most popular database on Amazon Web Services. I don't know why it's not MySQL or PostgreSQL, but somehow Redis is the most popular database. And apparently it's a big hit, and they're changing their model so they can make more money. They're moving from the old open source model that means people can even use it for a commercial purpose without paying, so they can no longer use it for a commercial purpose without paying. Anyway, I just mentioned it. It's just something you might want to learn. There's MySQL, and there's MS SQL, and there's Oracle, and I guess there's Redis. We ought to be learning Redis. Makes me think maybe I should take my SQL injection project and see if I can add some Redis to it. I don't even know if there is such a thing as injecting on a Redis database. I would imagine there probably is. All the others are vulnerable. It would be interesting to figure it out. This is kind of cute. AutoIt is a way to automate Windows actions. I used to use AutoIt. It's just a way to record like key presses and commands so you can make an automatic script to do things. And so they made malware that runs in AutoIt, and what it does is it switches your Windows machine into kiosk mode. Now, kiosk mode is intended to be used for something like a map in a store. There'll be a terminal where you can like only tap certain buttons and you can't really easily get back to a command prompt or anything. And so once you put it in kiosk mode, the user is stuck with one browser window and they can't get to their other windows. And then you put a login screen on there. And the user will probably naturally say, well, this is somebody popping up making me log in again, which we're all used to. It happens all the time. Whenever you're using a computer, something makes you log in. So they log in, and then the information is stored in the browser cache, and then their malware steals it from the cache. So that's pretty exciting. It's been an interesting attack, an interesting technique. A new technique. Yeah, here's Reuters blocking me again. But this is actually pretty important. Let me try and find it's too bad that Reuters is now paywalling their stuff. A MasterCard is buying Recorded Future. Too bad, because Reuters is valuable stuff. But if they're going to paywall everything, then I'll have to just quit using them. Yep, there we are. MasterCard acquires Recorded Future. And OneDrive, verifying OneDrive.app. Well, now that's disturbing. This web page loaded OneDrive on my Macintosh? That's a disturbing thing. I'm not going to spend time figuring it out now, but that does suggest that there's some kind of malicious ad on this page. I don't believe I have OneDrive. I do have OneDrive. All right, well, that's disturbing. I don't know why in the world I would have OneDrive. Oh, I used to have Microsoft Office on here. Maybe it came with it. Anyway, and this must have like a OneDrive link on this page or something. Anyway, so Recorded Future is being bought by MasterCard, and this is surprising to me because I thought MasterCard just handled credit card transactions, and Recorded Future is a threat intelligence platform. They keep track of it. So I can see how they would want the data from Recorded Future, but if they're going to acquire it, then I think that means MasterCard is going to have to begin providing security consulting or something. The largest independent intelligence business in the world. So I just wonder, what is Recorded Future going to do inside MasterCard? They say the mission remains unchanged. We will continue to operate as the same company. We will leverage advanced AI tools. They have clients and their commitment. That's why I thought people subscribe to Recorded Future. Like you purchase an antivirus product and you get all this information from them as a subscriber. So I guess MasterCard is now going to own that business, which is, I just don't quite understand why an acquisition makes any sense there. But I guess we'll find out. Recorded Future delivers a lot of podcasts and blogs and analysis and stuff. I guess they'll keep doing it, but as part of MasterCard now.